Trustee Toledo.
Present.
All board members present.
Great, thank you, Ms. Mayfield. Moving on to a report on closed session action. First, to approve the readmission case EO 1A 2122 by a 7-0 vote. The item was moved by trustee Oshinsky and seconded by trustee Tate. Second, to appoint Shannon Lane to the position of principal at Bancroft Middle School by a 7-0 vote. This item was moved by trustee Gonzalez and seconded by trustee Oshinsky. 3, to appoint Malika Campbell to the position of principal at McKinley Elementary School by a 7-0 vote. This item was moved by trustee Sheridan and seconded by trustee Tate. 4, to appoint Monica Guzman to the position of principal on special assignment by a 7-0 vote. The item was moved by trustee Gonzalez and seconded by trustee Prola. 5, to appoint Mark Dieter to the position of vice principal at Bancroft Middle School by a 7-0 vote. The item was moved by trustee Oshinsky and seconded by trustee Prola. 6, to appoint Thomas Reinhardt to the position of Director of Assessment and Accountability by a 7-0 vote. The item was moved by trustee Sheridan and seconded by trustee Prola. And 7, to appoint Long Vo to the position of Chief Technology Officer by a 7-0 vote. The item was moved by trustee Tate and seconded by trustee Toledo. The board has directed the superintendent and designees to deliver the proper notifications to the affected parties. Okay, next is the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Oshinsky, would you lead us in the pledge? Okay, thank you. First up is our mission statement. Trustee Toledo, would you please read our mission statement tonight?
The mission of the San Leandro Unified School District is to educate students to achieve academic excellence in order to become confident, collaborative, and engaged citizens in a community rich in heritage and diverse in culture, where we value our traditions and embrace innovation.
Thank you. Next is the equity statement. Trustee Sheridan, would you read the equity statement tonight?
The Board of Trustees believe that the diversity that exists among the district's community of students, staff, parents, guardians, and community members are integral to the district's vision, mission, and goals. Addressing the needs of the most marginalized learners requires recognition of the inherent value of diversity and acknowledgement that educational excellence requires a commitment to equity in the opportunities provided to students and the resulting outcomes.
Thank you. Moving on to the approval of the agenda, trustees. A motion to approve the agenda. Okay, the motion's made by trustee Oshinsky, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote. That goes 7-0. Thank you. The agenda has been approved. Now moving on to the legal statement. Members of the audience who wish to address the board are asked to raise your hand via Zoom during the meeting when the item is reached on the agenda, or for non-agenda items during the public testimony item, and wait to start speaking when you are called upon. Comments sent prior to the board meeting have been provided to members of the board in advance of the meeting. Some that only recently came in will be read aloud now. We did not receive any tonight. Please note that the meeting is being recorded. State law prohibits the Board of Education from taking any action on or discussing items that are not on the posted agenda, except to A, briefly respond to statements made or questions posed by the public in attendance, B, ask questions for clarification, C, provide a reference to a staff member or other resource for factual information in response to the inquiry, or D, ask a staff member to report back on the matter at the next meeting and or put it on the future agenda. Government Code 54954.2A. Great. Moving on to public comment or public testimony on non-agenda items. Doesn't look like we have any tonight, so we'll go ahead and move into the bond report. Director Aaron Kerrigan.
Can you hear me okay? No, how's that? It's getting down to the wire, and some of them are nail biters for sure, but it looks like we're gonna have the lion's share of the work done this summer with a couple of exceptions, but we should still be able to not impact the school site too drastically, even though some minor things will be happening during the first of school. So as you can see here in this first picture, this is Roosevelt Elementary School's shade structure. This one was taken a few weeks ago and it is now actually complete. And so I've updated the current project timelines, included some of the things that I didn't have on there before. And I've adjusted a couple of things. One of the things we did do an adjustment on was the high school gym has been pushed back a little bit by a month or two. The reason for that is because of the adjacent parking lot there. When that was done by the city and we inherited it, it was not ever taken through DSA process. So we're doing that now, and that's impacted our timeline on the gym, and that's why you'll see that reflected in my current timeline. So unfortunately, start date, we were anticipating this summer is going to be more like September, October on that. This is the high school courtyard quad. You can see the improvements there. This is a project that we knew that we weren't going to be able to complete in one summer. We had spoken with the site about it, and what they told us was they elected to have the project start in the summertime and then end during the first of the school year. The reason for that is because the lion's share of the work was happening in the beginning was all heavy equipment. And so we figured it would be less impact for them when they're out there just doing plantings and assembling benches, that kind of thing, even benches from Spain. And we anticipate that'll be done probably within the first month coming back, maybe mid-September. As you can see here, this is a recent photograph of the Muir modulars. As you can see, they've got the whole exterior framing done. The roof is on. They're pouring sidewalks right there, as you can see. And since that picture was taken, I was there the other day, and they're doing a lot of rough-in on the inside. So electrical, HVAC, and plumbing is being put in there. That one's on schedule. Here's Bancroft. These are the new modulars. That's pretty much completed. We've been moving in teachers into these rooms, and we anticipate, I believe it's this week, we're going to take delivery of the furniture as well. Here's the front of Bancroft School, and this picture was actually taken today as it stands. I'm being told by the contractor to not worry about this one, although it looks like that now. A majority of it is done. They're going to be pouring those slabs here very shortly within the next couple of days, and the ramps, and then after that it's going to be mostly planting. Here's the new field at Bancroft. You can see the installation going on there. They just started that about a day ago. And so they'll have that complete, obviously, by the time school starts. You'll notice the track surface around that is asphalt. And typically they'll lay the asphalt down and then they come back and put a rubberized track on after that. But there's a cure time associated with the asphalt. Generally, it's 2 to 3 weeks, which puts us at a date of when the school starts. I've spoken with the school site. We're going to go ahead and fence that off for the start of school. They're going to come in right after the first day of school to come and lay the rubber track. And in doing so, it's going to take about 2 weeks. We've already talked to the PE. Everybody's in agreement with it. We will have all the basketball courts. We will have the drop-off area in the front, and we will have the gym for PE and activities like that. So it's only about 2 weeks into the school year that we'll have that. This is Mckinley campus upgrades. This was done over the summertime. We did new painting. The tack board we did previously. As you recall, we've done these in stages, but as you can see now, that's the finished product of that area with new paint, new flooring, new tack board. Shade structures. All the shade structures are going to be done on time, with the exception of Mckinley. There's there's a lot more to Mckinley, and so that's going to bleed into the school year. We've talked to the site. We're bringing a fencing plan to the site so that they understand. They'll be working on that. most of that work is going to be assembling benches and planting plants, no heavy construction, shouldn't be any. And with that, I want to thank you. This is Garfield's new sign, marquee sign out front, almost complete. You can see, with the exception of the bottom of the sign, they've got to put the brick on the bottom, but otherwise it's complete. So with that, I'd like to see if anyone have any questions for me.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Questions, Trustee Osinski?
Thank you for your presentation. Just a quick question. So will the Bancroft drop-off area be done in time for school?
Yeah, the drop off and the front of the school, they're telling me will be done for the start of school. One other issue I would like to mention is that we're having a little bit of issue with East Bay Mud. We applied for permits long before this project started, and there's some lag. And so we're hoping that might be a factor if they come back and say, hey, we can't put your meter in. We've got a plan in place. The meter serves the sprinkler systems there. And so if we need to, we can have a person on fire watch there if they're not able to get it done in time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great, further questions? Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have no presentations tonight, and then moving into public hearing, no public hearing, so we'll just go into board reports. First up is correspondence.
Thank you. Clerk's report for tonight, August 3rd is 7-1 Lozano Smith, client news brief. 7-2 Cal Matters, the week's top stories. 7-5 K-12 free guide to unlock student potential. 7-6 CIO dive, guide to inflation. 7-7 higher ed dive, UMass global chancellor has big growth hopes. 7-8 SLED July celebrations. 7-9 Cal Matters, the week's top stories. 7-11 Alameda County Board of Supervisor Dave Brown biweekly newsletter. 7-12 K-12 dive, how schools are expanding digital resources. Then July 13th, Coalition for Fair Funding Victory for PLA agreements. And July 14th, CIO dive, retain to train to retain, sorry. Goldman Sachs rethinks innovation. July 15th, dive, how to craft an effective crisis response plan. By 19th, SLUSD certificate of vacancy. CIO dive, can CIO skills be taught? By 20th, higher ed dive, accreditation shopping and feds crosshairs. July 21st, higher ed dive, streamline the campus experience for July 23rd, CIO dive, weekender, how to retain tech talent. July 25th, K through 12 dive. Chip price hikes could hit IT. July 26th, CIO dive, how to shift from project to product. And that concludes my.
Thank you, Trustee Tate. No student board member report. She will be joining us soon. We have a new student board member.
Say more.
Sure, I'm not sure. I think next meeting we'll go ahead and say more.
Okay,
on that.
it's kind of a cool thing, so.
It is a really cool thing. Yeah, so more on that later, just smiles. Union representative reports. I don't see any people in the audience or on Zoom, I assume. I don't think anybody's on the Zoom. Oh, right. I always the recording. Okay. Pandemic times, y'all. Okay. Board committee reports, communications and advocacy.
Okay, we met yesterday morning and we had the bond update. We're looking at groundbreaking for the San Leandro High School gym and Lincoln campus tentatively scheduled for September. And we will do a groundbreaking ceremony for those. Ribbon cuttings, we're looking at ribbon cuttings for Bancroft and for the San Leandro Quad, and the dates for those are pending. The shade structures that have been installed at all the elementary schools, and Garfield is awaiting panels for this structure to be completed. So just if any of you hear anything. And then McKinley staff, they've been getting weekly updates with what's happening throughout the summer. So hopefully when they arrive back, they will not say that we didn't communicate with them over the summertime. Under the events resolution awareness calendar, we reviewed all the resolutions for this coming year and decided which ones to go each month. We're gonna have the resolutions come the month prior. So that way they're always queued up with signatures and everything ready. This year we were a little behind on some of them, and we reviewed them the month that the resolution was happening, but our meeting is the 2nd, so we were already kind of late. So they'll be a month before. We also asked for the land acknowledgement to be added to the October and November board agendas. So watch for that coming back. The district communication projects, we reviewed the complete list of ongoing projects and completed projects. We looked at the adult school logo redesign options and color choices. And then we gave feedback that is going back to the site. And then those options will come to you August 23rd. So next board meeting will have the adult school logo redesign options for the board to decide. We also talked about the San Leandro Virtual Academy and their logo. That was kind of put on hold because they don't really have staff right now. So we're waiting for their staff to come back so that they can work and be a part of the logo process. And then Joaquin Elementary sign will be installed Friday, and we will be unveiling it the first week of school. The decision was to wait till students came back to be a part of the unveiling process. And again, the district will get the dates for us as soon as possible. And then for that elementary school, new t-shirts will be provided to students and staff with the new name on it. Under advocacy, we talked about the Student Achievement Awards. And we discussed the criteria that we wanted it to be as open as possible, so students could meet the state test requirements or grades or teacher recommendation. So there were lots of pathways to being successful for meeting the award criteria. We wanted to talk about clarity on how students are recognized. We want to be sensitive to the multi-ethnic families that we have within our community. Importance of an inclusive process, and increased opportunities for students to be recognized that have met any of the criteria, not just a standalone one criteria. And Keziah will work with educational services and report out at our next meeting what they suggest and their feedback. We also talked about the rainbow clubs at the elementary schools. And we're going to work on doing a review of state rules and regulations around discussing sexuality for students. We're going to review what other school districts' policies around rainbow clubs in elementary school. And President Aguilar is going to be the one that will reach out to other districts and see across the state if there's anything in place already that exists. And then we'll continue to have discussions on this. And with both the achievement awards and with the elementary rainbow clubs, when we finish and we feel good about it, we'll send it on to policy so that we can create a policy around both of these issues, or both of these items. So that concludes the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is curriculum policy.
We meet on September 26th.
Thank you. Facilities and technology.
We meet August 10th.
Thank you. Finance.
We meet September 7th.
Thank you. Drug, alcohol, tobacco, education, date committee.
We meet September 7th.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any polls tonight from the consent? Okay, seeing none, then I'll go ahead and take a motion.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by trustee Sheridan, seconded by trustee Oshinsky. Please vote. All right, that goes 7-0. Thank you for that. Moving into action and discussion items. Trustees, I'm just going to breeze through this. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be looking in the queue. Oh, actually, no, I'll be looking for hands since I'll be running through. Okay, let's get started. Under General Services, item 1A, term of employment agreement between San Leandro Unified School District Board of Education and Lawrence Simon, Assistant Superintendent of Information Services.
I'll gladly move 1A.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by trustee Oshinsky, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote.
No, I was thinking we were raising our hands and not pushing them down. Sorry.
All right, that's 7-0, but we can definitely give a congratulations to our new assistant superintendent.
Since you wore a tie.
Vote of confidence. I'm excited to continue the great work we've been doing here for the last several years. So thank you. Yeah.
Did you want to say anything, trustee Tate?
So congratulations, Larry. I appreciate all the work that you've done, and you've definitely helped me many, many, many times. And I really tried to beat whoever it was to the punch to make the motion, but they were too fast. But you well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to make sure if there are any other not questions, comments, celebratory, congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, moving into item 3A, San Leandro UST, San Jose State University Teaching Agreement. Been moved by trustee Sheridan, seconded by trustee Oshinsky. All in favor? Oh, sorry about that. Please vote. Great, that goes 7-0. Thank you. Moving to 3B, Memorandum of Understanding between San Leandro Boys and Girls Club and San Leandro Unified School District to implement and jointly operate the After School Education and Safety, ACES, an Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, ELOP, for 2022-23, 2023-24, and 2024-25 school years.
I'll move 3A or 3B.
Oh.
3B.
I'll second.
Okay, it's moved by trustee Tate, seconded by trustee Oshinsky. Please vote. All right, that goes 7-0. Moving into 3C, Memorandum of Understanding between San Leandro Unified School District and California School Employee Association Enrollment Support Summer Assignment. Moved by trustee Sheridan, seconded by trustee Prola. Please vote. That goes 7-0. Thank you. 3D, Memorandum of Understanding between San Leandro Unified School District and California School Employees Association, Reduction in Staffing Needs at Adult School.
I'll move 3D.
Moved by trustee Tate, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote. All right, that's 7-0. Moving to 3E, District Translator Job Description.
I'll second.
It's been moved by trustee Toledo and seconded by trustee Oshinsky. Please vote. All right, that's 7-0. 3F, Native American Health Center COVID-19 Testing Addendum.
I'll move 3F.
Whoa, that was simultaneous.
You can
Um,
give it to, I
Okay,
don't know who that person is.
Trustee
Oh,
Toledo.
Oh, okay. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Moved by trustee Prola and seconded by trustee Toledo. Okay, trustee Toledo. Great, please vote. Thank you, 7-0. 3G, Principal Coaching Agreement.
I'll move 3.
Been moved by trustee Tate, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote. Great, that's 7-0. Thank you very much. Now moving into educational services. 4A, agreement between the Regents of the University of California on behalf of Destination College Advising Corps, or DCAC, and San Leandro Unified School District on behalf of San Leandro High School. It's been moved by trustee Prola and seconded by trustee Toledo. Please vote. All right, that's 7-0. Moving to 4B, approve revised administrative regulation 5121, grades and evaluation of student achievement.
I'll move 4B.
I'll second.
Been moved by trustee Oshinski and it's been seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote. All right, that's 7-0. Moving into facilities and construction, 5A, Resolution 2236 for California Environmental Quality Act, approval for the Lincoln Alternative Education Center. Been moved by trustee Sheridan, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote. All right, that's 7-0. Thank you, everybody. Now moving into our cabinet report, starting with Dr. Mike McLaughlin,
All right.
Superintendent.
Good to see everybody. Congratulations, Mr. Simon. Look forward to working with you on the team. So that'll be exciting. It's nice to wear long pants for one day. Summer is starting to end. Start off the summer hoping for a lot of relaxation, but as you see today, you're looking at not a bright man who decided to get a puppy for my son. And at some point, I think I tried to hand it off to Leo, because we didn't know we were going to get up every 3 hours and take this dog and then start eating our furniture. And so it's now with a wonderful home and we're all getting sleep. So, but other than that, it's been nice spend time with the family. And I think I mentioned to some of you, my wife has now joined the ranks of being a teacher. So it's kind of been fun helping her get her classroom ready. And it's tough, and it's nice to see that here in San Leandro we do a great job at onboarding. Throughout the years I've seen people like Sanal and Zarina, when we get a new teacher at the last minute, how everybody rallies to get the classroom ready and really support that teacher, because there's so much frustration coming in, angst and stuff like that. None of that's happened out at Liberty High School District. She's kind of on her own, so it's good to see that we're doing something different. And that's how you attract teachers and hopefully keep them. They see those signs, because as a new teacher, I forgot, it's been a long time for me. It's easy for me to just say, don't worry. But yeah, she's worried. But it's only been her first week and doing a good job. So it's kind of nice for me to see things from another side personally in our home. So I'm very proud of her. And she will help me be able to retire earlier by doing that. I want to put a huge thanks out to our HR department. And they have been working, even when we're all in summer, they have been working around the clock. And even Dr. Patel, these has been joining them, beating the bushes, looking for anybody we can. This is a new reality, and it's with every school district trying to get teachers, administrators, and even paraeducators. Every time I walk into Falarka's room, she goes, "Don't say anything, you're gonna make me cry," because she's got this big board of vacancies, and they're just doing a great job. I think you'll see, compared to most districts, our numbers real low in vacancies, and it's because of the hard work this team has. They really have not stopped all summer. I mean, even if they're not there, they're thinking about it, they're talking about it, and I just can't thank them enough. And it really also goes out to every school district. These HR departments are it's rough. And Zarina will give you more in her report, but thank them when you see them, because it has been a big lift for us to try to get a school year. And we hope that we can get the parents to understand what this culture is. It's not that we don't want to fill it. We're trying everything we can. And I'll have something in consensus to ask you to help us with how we try to get some more teachers. Also, Aaron, it's been, things change, right? You set times for projects. You think they're all going to get done. Then you got DSA coming in. You got things like, electric and those kind of things that, you always hope it gets done on time, but I think the majority of it will be done on time, and we'll move forward. So, I think the end product is worth a little bit of a challenge in the first couple of weeks, because that quad at the high school will be a game changer for those kids to be able to hang out, the new field at Bancroft, all these shade structures, the classrooms. So good job, Aaron and Kevin. They just been really working hard trying to move this stuff along. So with that, I'm excited to get this school year. We met our principals yesterday, and you know what? Smiles. People are excited. So we'll have more discussions about what COVID looks like and things like that as we talk on the 23rd. We have a retreat coming up Sunday through Tuesday. So we will hammer out. We have a lot more work to do this year in our retreat, because just trying to move things out of this pandemic, which I'm sure will still be part of it a little bit. But I'm excited. I'm excited to start and get moving. And hopefully get ahead of this thing. So with that, I will hand it off to the next one.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. Next up is Dr. Sonal Patel, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services.
Hi, good evening. It's good to see everyone again. And I'm going to definitely start off with a big thank you to my colleague, Dr. Sheridan for helping us get all our ed services positions filled. We had lots, and so we appreciate the hard work by Michelle Falarca, Grisellia Ward, and Sarina in helping us. One of the positions that we're really excited that we filled is our new Director of Assessment and Accountability, Dr. Thomas Reinhardt, and he's here, so I'll just have him wave. He got to join the Ed Services team early on this summer. We presented in Anaheim at the Convention Center at the MTSS conference on our San Leandro journey in not only implementing MTSS, but evolving it. So that was really fun. I got to spend my summer doing tournament softball with my daughter and getting my son ready to head off to college here in September at University of Washington. So it was very busy. Our team was still here in San Leandro working on summer school. We're proud that we served over 2,200 students this summer, knowing our enrollment, that's about 1 in 4 students attending summer school this summer, which is, I think, a great achievement. For us, we learned a lot from the process. Scaling that big had some hiccups, definitely in terms of just making sure the communication was tight and staffing and everything. But we made a lot of new educational partners and look forward to putting some of those debriefs, taking some of that learning in our planning for next summer and going even stronger. Our team is busy getting ready for next week in a week that we're calling Jumpstart Pd, where about 290 of our teachers have already enrolled new and veteran in academies where they'll come for training to be compensated. It's volunteer in a variety of topics, from diving deeper into their curriculum, to their blended learning platforms, to how to engage in assessment, to just creating welcome, responsive environments for students. We have special strands for teachers who are new to teaching, teachers who are just new to San Leandro, and teachers who are returning. So we're excited about that. So if you start seeing people buzzing around the FTK campus this coming week, it's because they're attending our Jumpstart PD. And lastly, yesterday, on Tuesday, August 2nd, we hosted our summer internship expo, celebrating 53 students who successfully completed summer internships and the Internship 101 course requirement. We're excited. Thank you to the Board Curriculum Committee for making that an official course. Students presented and shared their experiences with families, staff, peers, community members were there. SLED was helping to host, and students received a stipend for their participation, so they're well on their way in knowing what it looks like to work and learn in the San Leandro community. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patel. Moving into Dr. Zarina Zanipatin, Assistant Superintendent of Administrative Services.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I wanted to welcome all of you back. I hope that your break was restful and you feel rejuvenated. I also appreciate all the kudos that you have noted for my team, because we did not get any rest. We were just working, but we knew that we had a goal to reach, and we're really close, very, very close. We had recently, the Administrative Services Division team had the pleasure of welcoming back our principals for the very first time for this school year yesterday. We did a principal huddle to give them some topics that we knew that they were going to need right even before we landed at our retreat. And so we had we covered topics like the confirmed enrollment. We covered topics around communication, around student discipline. We wanted to just make sure that we gave them a startup before we saw them again. We'll see them again at our retreat next week. But I wanted to give a shout out to the entire admin services directors, because on top of, having everyone find people to hire and fill these vacancies, we said, okay, you're also going to present on these topics to these principals. And so all of that training was well received. And so we're excited to get started again with our principals. We have also been busy just filling those vacancies, right, that we knew were going to happen. And so as of today, we've hired approximately 50 classroom teachers and 11 administrators. We do still have some vacancies at some of our schools. And so we calculate there's about 11 vacancies between all of our secondary schools. So if you take all of our middle school, our high schools, there's about 11, and some of those vacancies are partial vacancies, like they're a 60% or a 40% that we're looking for. And then for our elementary schools, we have about 6 vacancies across all of our elementary schools. And some of those vacancies are actually in progress in terms of, my team gives me updates like, we're interviewing, it's a vacancy, but we're interviewing them tomorrow. There's a vacancy and we're interviewing them like the next day, or this person has a vacancy and we are looking into their credential to see if they qualify for an emergency credential. So they are doing all they can to make sure that every single classroom is filled before we start the school year. And so we're feeling good about that. We've also had pleased to have had a lot of just steady student enrollment, right? So we are that has been happening all summer long. And so today we're happy to report that our enrollment today is just slightly higher than what we ended the school year last year. So that's a plus because we were anticipating lower enrollment. So we're just hoping that all those folks that are enrolled actually show up first day, but it's a positive thing. It's a good thing for us. And other than that, we're just going to keep on trying to recruit. So you can be my recruiters as well and let me know. My team will look into whomever you're suggesting. And we're just excited to be back. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. C. Moving into Dr. Kevin Collins, Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations.
Thank you for business and operations. We're continuing to work on the close of books. Now that we're into the new year and we're beginning to prepare the district's unaudited actuals, which you'll see next month in a couple board meetings. The final state budget was released after our final board meeting in June, and it contained quite a bit of good news. There was a very healthy COLA and some one-time monies, and we're working on updating the budgets for the year according to the state updates. It's important to remember that the COLA, while it is very healthy, it's going to be applied to our current year enrollment, which is looking to be significantly lower than our high mark in 1920. So we're not going to get that whole big COLA. It's going to be applied to a much smaller number. Remember, we were down about 300 students between our high mark in 1920 and last year's official CBEDS number or CalPADS number. We're continuing to work with our auditor on issues related to attendance from 21-22 school year, and we're hoping to get those final items resolved, and we're going to continue to work with them then on the close of books for the year. You're likely to see that audit report in December. That's what we're planning. And finally, I want to thank Aaron Kerrigan and his team again on the number of projects that we're completing this summer. It was an incredibly busy summer and a lot of work going on district-wide. We had originally thought this was going to be a kind of a low-key bond, and we were going to stretch the work over a period of time, and kind of threw that out the window and went for it at all of our sites. But great job, Aaron and your team. Thank you for that. The projects are turning out. They're just looking phenomenal. So going to be great additions to the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Collins. Moving into board representative reports. First up, Alameda County School Boards Association.
Our next meeting for Expo is planned for Thursday, October 20th. It'll be virtually again, and the topic is to be determined.
Thank you. Eden Area Regional Occupational Program. We meet tomorrow at 5:45 at the ROP Center with our new superintendent, Blaine Torpy. Should be an exciting meeting. Moving into Mid-Alameda County Special Education Local Plan Area.
So we met on June 27th. We had a special meeting to continue virtually. I'm sorry, that was June 23rd to approve the meetings to continue virtually. And then we had a meeting on June 27th to vote to adopt the regional services plan. And the next meeting is to be.
Thank you very much. Next is City Disaster Preparedness Council.
I'm not quite sure. I've checked my email. I've checked my spam box. They are dark this month, so maybe in September.
Okay, thank you. All right, future business, consensus items. Dr. Mike, did you want to bring
Yeah, a
that?
couple. The first one is what I was thinking of doing with our agenda starting this year is change the high school part to school. All our principals would have a chance. That would be okay with you? Up a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that okay? All right, we'll make sure we hit all of them throughout the year, okay? The other piece is, because we don't have the numbers, but we've been talking about it a little bit and we just couldn't get on the, looking at possible, whether or not we want to add some signing bonuses to hire some people. Something we've talked about. So if I could get some consensus that we can start looking at that, we may have to ratify whatever we come up with. Offering and stuff like that.
All right, thank you. Trustees, any consensus items from you? Okay, great. Thank you. Moving into additional suggestions and comments from board members, starting with Trustee Prola.
I'd take that off so I could be heard. First of all, I want to say it's good to be back, and I'm really pleased to have had an uneventful summer. I'd like to see to report on the activities of the adult school, if we could get one of these days. And I look forward to a productive school year, hopefully with no issues like health and things that happened last year. There's one thing I wanted to mention, that the Department of Education began distribution this morning, or not this morning, but this week, of almost $300 million to help school-based mental health professionals. And I hope we qualify for some of that. Well, I hope we don't have any issues, but if we do have issues, I'd like to get some of the funding for it. I wanted to mention an exciting thing that happened to me anyway. In the month of July, I was asked by the Historical Society to do some illustrations of historical sites that no longer, most of them don't exist anymore in San Leandro, but they had photographs. And so I did that, and they put it up for the month of July as an exhibit at the library. So that was kind of fun and exciting. And other than that, I guess I don't have much to say, but I'm glad we're all back and healthy and hanging.
That's got a clarifying question.
Sure, Dr. Mike has a clarifying question.
Trustee Perola, would it be okay if we just have Principal Frazier come and give a report on the adult school as your report? Okay. We'll put him on a future agenda, have him come talk. Okay.
I just meant sometime.
Okay, cool. All right.
Great, thank you, Trustee Perola. Trustee Gonzalez.
Yeah, I got to see as the human resources team in action because I attended a job fair done by the chamber, and they were working really hard. A lot of people are coming in looking for flexibility in work, and we're like, substitute teaching, you can't get more flexible than that. And so, and also we had some people who had graduated from the adult school with the diplomas that were interested in being paras. And so there wasn't a large turnout because right now there aren't a ton of people looking for jobs, but they were working really hard to find a job that fit whoever came to our table that they could go for. So it was a nice opportunity to interact with the public and let them know we do have all kinds of different jobs, and some in classroom and some outside the classroom. And so seeing them in action, I know why we have so few openings compared to other districts. So that was wonderful. I also got to attend the internship for the trades celebration day, which was wonderful. We actually had 2 of our teachers from high school that went to support their students. And there was a lot of pride in the students that were there. We had a large number of women who have made decisions to be in the trades. And so I also thought it was our students represented San Leandro very, very well as they were presenting. And then my last comment is the Alameda County Office of Education does the public health update. And they have so many people on the call that they no longer will add people. They just want us board members on the call to pass it on. And so if you ever want to attend, it's on Thursdays. I think we do every other Thursday. And it's a great way to hear directly from the Director of Public Health for Alameda County on this is focused purely for school and how COVID, monkeypox, all those things are really focused. What are we supposed to be thinking of as board members? So if you want to attend, let me know and I'll send you the evites as I receive them. And that, I guess, on a personal note, my son got married this last weekend. After his marriage was supposed to be July 2020, July 2021, and he finally got the wedding on July 2022. So that was very exciting. And then I'm starting my last year for my doctorate program. And so I have been approved my writing project and now I just need to write away. And so this last year I'll be writing. So, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Toledo.
Back. Welcome back, everyone. And I don't think that there's enough recognition that can go for all the hard work that was done this summer, going from all the students that were in summer school, all our staff, to everyone that was recognized tonight for all their hard work. So just really, really thankful. And I'm also really glad that the students who did participate in the internships to get a stipend. I think that just also gives them a refresher to not go for any unpaid internships because it's a lot of hard work and I'm glad that they do. I guess that's all for me. On a personal note, it was also a very uneventful summer for me, other than taking my sister to swimming classes at the Boys and Girls Club. And I'm glad that she's enjoying herself. I sadly am not as good of a swimmer as she is. So I'm glad that I saw her growth. And other than that, I'm also really surprised by how fast the transformation at Bancroft went. I go down that street all the time and just seeing new improvements every week was just really amazing. And I'm so excited for all the students going back to Bancroft and all of our schools. So
Thank you. Trustee Sheridan.
Well, another summer break that was way too short, but I am prepared and ready for another school year. Excited. My daughter's excited to now be a sophomore, right? It's all moving fast. That I'd like to invite everyone out to Drake's this Friday night for their first Friday in support of SLED. I've invited a group from my Rotary Club group and some other individuals, as friends and some candidates to come out and just support and just enjoy some camaraderie, some discussions, and help support education.
Thank you. Trustee Tate.
So I will echo that, second that, welcome back. It seems like the summer definitely goes by so quickly. And before we know it, it's a new school year. So I don't have a long report, but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to start afresh and anew. Over the summer, I did some traveling and I've been really busy with work and with my family life. And so one thing I can say is that I met a lot of young people in our community. And I always look at the young people and I always say, you must still be in high school. And they're usually graduates of the high school, right? And they talk to me and they're so intelligent. I mean, like they're mature is what I want to say. And it's amazing. But the ones I've spoken to, they had a really positive experience through our school district. And I'm just happy that we're able to offer good resources. And we have a really great district and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I'm happy to continue spreading the word. And also I want to say welcome to Dr. Tom over there. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. A large crowd in the audience, but it's welcome aboard. So that's all I have. So thank you.
Great, thank you, trustee Oshinsky.
Just a couple of quick things. One, the sled gala will be September the 16th. So tickets are not now on sale. Please join us. It's always a great event. I know it's near and dear to several of our hearts. It's a great event every year. Also, I want to say congratulations to Assistant Superintendent Simon. We spent a lot of time upstairs in the conference room during COVID doing our Zoom board meetings. So I really appreciate all the effort. And you did get the district through Zoom. Through COVID, and I really appreciate all your work. So congratulations.
All right, thank you. First, I want to welcome, of course, Larry into the role of Assistant Superintendent. Big congratulations, well deserved, and welcome Dr. Reinhardt to San Leandro Unified. We're so excited to have you. First, last weekend, I was in LA for the California School Board Association's Leadership Institute. It was fairly well attended. It was like a mini AEC, I'll say, but with a definite focus on crisis communications. And so I guess I got a little bit of a preview on what AEC is going to look like. A lot about communicating to our communities, during times of crises, right? When things involve pandemics, when things involve fires and earthquakes and all of that. And so look forward to a lot of communications related content this December for CSBA. Other than that, I mean, this year I'm asking myself, what is summer? Didn't really have a summer this year because I've been busy at work in my credential program and the news there. So I am going to be working full time at Arroyo High School as a teacher on their faculty in social science, officially on a short-term staff permit until I can work toward my intern credentials. So thank you. Just like Mike's wife, I'm headed into the classroom, headed into the fray on the 18th. So classroom set up soon, PD soon. It's all going to be coming. So again, I ask, what summer?
She's got me booked to do weekends, so I can't. So
yeah, weekends shut off. But other than that, yeah, that's my report for tonight. And then we convene back at the end of the month on Tuesday, August 23rd. And next is adjournment. Trustees?
The move to adjourn.
also.
Okay, it's a move by trustee Oshinsky and seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Please vote. And 7-0, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
All right, man.
Oh, yeah.